Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mindset Monday. My name is Sally Garozzo, and this is the place to be to get inspiration and motivation on how to feel happier in your life and more deeply fulfilled. So today's session is called Sleep for the Stressed Mind. Now, we all know that sleep is very important, and we all know that when we don't get enough sleep, we feel moody, we feel emotional, we feel like we are just at our wits' end, right? I know, I've definitely been there. So let me know if you're watching this live or if you're catching the replay. Let me know if you struggle with sleep, if sleep eludes you, because I know for a fact that you are not alone. In fact, lack of sleep these days seems to be on the rise, and I think it is definitely to do with screens. But I also feel that a lot of us are literally forgetting how to sleep. So in essence, what we need to do is to relearn one of the most natural skills that are innately within us. So until about 7 years ago, I never had any sleep issues at all. You know, whenever I had a consultation for anything, they would say, "How's your sleep?" And I would always say, "Yep, fine, no worries, I just fall asleep," and then wake up 8 hours later. But 7 years ago, I started to suffer quite badly. So I've experienced pretty much everything to do with sleep issues. I'll tell you some of the things that I have experienced, and maybe you can relate to them. So basically, sometimes I would experience this accelerated heart rate. So I'm kind of feeling like I want to go to sleep, but suddenly my mind would start racing and I would get this adrenaline surge and my heart rate would just kick off, and then I'd get the chest pains thinking that I was going to have a heart attack. I've experienced this sensation of being woken up with a bang of my nervous system, literally jolting me awake. Probably, and this is just completely self-diagnosed, but probably sleep apnea. I was probably stopping breathing in my sleep, which is definitely a stress issue because the diaphragm area kind of gets a bit hardened. I've experienced waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to get back to sleep, which is terribly frustrating. I've experienced this really weird thing of trying to sleep and just not being able to, and having a really important presentation or gig the next day and just having to function on zero sleep. It's the most terrifying experience ever. And it's kind of like what happens is you can only kind of drift into theta, and you're not able to let go all the way into delta. So that was weird. I've experienced 2 whole weeks of not sleeping when I was going through a midlife crisis a couple of years ago. That was not pretty. So let me tell you that I have experienced my fair share of sleep issues, but I've worked on it. I've come up with what I think are some really good tips to help you if you struggle with sleep. So let me know, even if you're catching the replay, what your sleep issues are, and hopefully this video will help you. So firstly, the big revelation I had is that sleep is not a mind thing, okay? Sleep is a body thing. All right, we cannot think ourselves to sleep. Thinking is the problem, not the solution. We have to let go into sleep because, in essence, like I said, thinking is a stimulating activity. Our minds race, our minds latch on to certain thoughts. Even if it's counting sheep, they can be very latchy sometimes, our minds. Yeah, so, for some people who have mild sleep problems, counting back or counting sheep might work. But if you have a stressed mind or a very overactive imagination, that might not work. So it's a body thing, not a mind thing. And I want you to really bear that in mind as we go through this live. So the other thing that I want you to bear in mind is that sorting your sleep patterns out is actually a forever journey. There are no quick fixes to your sleep. So I would like you to think about or consider dropping the sleeping pills, even the herbal ones, and opt for a lifestyle change. Opt for these tips instead and see how you go. Because your body knows how to sleep, right? Just like your body knows how to beat your heart, your body knows how to breathe, your body knows how to pump blood around you. You don't consciously get involved. You don't consciously try to beat your own heart. You don't consciously try to breathe. And when you do, if you've ever tried to control your breathing, you will know that your breathing starts to become erratic. You literally have to let go. So here are my 7 tips for a great night's sleep for the stressed mind. So tip number 1, you might not like this one, but I would like you to cut out all stimulants, and I mean it. Coffee, tea, and dark chocolate, especially dark chocolate. Dark chocolate can seem totally harmless. In fact, we're even told that dark chocolate is good for us. And of course, in moderation, it is. But if you struggle with sleep, I would urge you to cut these things out of your life. And I would even go so far as to say, please cut out highly refined sugar and refined carbohydrates, because food like this, in fact, it's not really even food, it irritates and upsets your nervous system and your endocrine system. And your nervous system and your endocrine system are part of your sleep system. So melatonin is the hormone that is secreted. Yes, it is melatonin, not melanin. That's the skin, isn't it? Melatonin is secreted to give you the urge to sleep, okay? So what we want to do is create the perfect environment in our body so that the body can be completely at ease when it comes to bedtime. So many people think, or they say that, oh, I just can't give up coffee. I can't give up chocolate. And I was like that. I didn't want to give up my dark chocolate addiction. I had a terrible dark chocolate addiction. And I didn't want to give it up because I thought I would feel deprived. But the truth of the matter was I was being deprived of sleep. So it was a choice. It's not deprivation if you choose it not to be. Instead, you've got to think of it as elimination, right? So getting rid of, letting go, so that you can give yourself rest and relaxation. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, tip number 2, get yourself off of those stress hormones. So stress hormones can be very addictive. We don't think of stress as being addictive, but it actually is. And it is because it becomes so familiar and we live in a competitive world, although I do think that is changing. Of course, this is easier said than done because we live in this world that is competitive, as I just said. But my question to you is, when will enough be enough? When will it get bad enough for you to actually take stock of your life? Now, I've recently decided to let go of something very, very dear to me, a little side business that I had, because it was elevating my stress hormones, and I decided that it absolutely was not worth it. And this was a really big, scary leap for me. But the one thing that's created more than anything is headspace. It's created headspace, and it has ignited my passion for other things. So I am now feeling so much more alive. So things like work, getting rich, earning money, even self-growth, it's not everything. What is everything is your body's ability to regulate these stress hormones. And if your body doesn't get enough breathing space, your stress hormones will kick off at these inopportune moments, like when you're trying to go to sleep. So my biggest lesson to give you for this one is to really learn to let go of control. When we try to control, ironically, we don't have any control. And sleep is about letting go of control. We can't control ourselves to sleep. We have to let go to sleep, and we have to let sleep overtake us. We have to let sleep come to us, just like the tide comes in from the sea. We can't stop it. It has to come in. No amount of barriers is going to stop that tide coming over us. So that's what we have to do. We have to let that tide come over us. But the thing is, a lot of us are so used to controlling that controlling becomes familiar. And because the mind loves what is familiar, it goes to it. So it prefers controlling. But the good news is you can make letting go very familiar too. So how do we do that? We practice letting go by doing, number one, regular hypnosis or meditation. So 20-minute recording or a guided meditation or something to help you calm your nervous system down and letting go. And I do have a free sleep hypnosis that I'm going to give you. I will put it in the link above, I'll put it in the copy above. And the second way we can practice letting go is by practicing letting go of our muscles and actually just letting our muscles go really loose and limp and lazy and just like jelly, or as I like to say, strands of loose spaghetti. Can imagine all your muscles just melting down. And if you want to explore this further, I encourage you to look into Alexander technique. This is how I really learned to switch off my muscles and to that holding on, but also doing sleep hypnosis as well, or some kind of meditation that takes you through a body scan. So number 3 then, deal with whatever is on your mind. So clear those skeletons out of your closet, clear that old trauma, clear that old programming, deal with your issues, deal with your processes and your emotions. Because the thing is, you don't even have to think about sleep when you've got nothing on your mind, okay? When all of those pent-up emotions have been discharged, and you are in control of that. You are in control of your energy. You are totally in control of how you charge and discharge your energy. And if you want to know more, okay, so where are we now? Because when you've got these strong emotions, these pent-up emotions in your body, it causes inflammation in the body. And inflammation is a hot kind of energy, and anything that's hot will ignite the body. And what we want to do for sleep is cool the body down. So you know how relaxed and calm you feel after a good cry. You feel that sense of relief afterwards, even after you've thrown up. You feel that sense of relief, don't you? There's a pressure build, and then you cry or you throw up or you go for a poo, and it just feels great. It feels like a relief. And it's the same with emotions. We have to get those emotions. We have to get that old programming out of the body. You have to deal with it. You have to get some help. You have to reframe it so that your mind and your nervous system and your body can do what nature has intended with your body, just to let go. And so if we're holding on, it's no good. We're creating all of this resistance. It's just not good. So maybe what's keeping you up at night is, these looping thoughts going around and around, maybe about a certain event or about a certain family issue or about a work issue or about a conversation that you've got to have with somebody, or a letter you've got to write, or a presentation you've got to do. You need to be able to deal with those things during the day. So tick them off the list, get them done, put plans into place where these things are not hanging over your head at night time. And if you want help with getting to the root of some of your habits and behaviors, I can help you with that. So send me a message if you want. Okay, number 4. Gentle exercise, and I mean gentle. Okay, so I want you to exercise even if you've had no sleep, even if you are feeling a bit burnt out. If you're feeling utterly burnt out, just rest. But if you've still got a little bit of functioning capability, I want you to do some exercise. Okay, so for burnout, the best kind of exercise is light swimming, walking, especially in fresh air, and some gentle yoga. The more fresh air you can get, the better. So remember when I said at the start that sleep is a body issue, not a mind issue? We need to make the body genuinely tired. We need to increase the body's need for sleep, and then the urge for sleep will definitely come upon us. So physical activity is a brilliant way of increasing the body's need for sleep. Outdoor sports, such a great thing to do because it's fun, it's light-hearted, you're getting fresh air. Fresh air is brilliant. I remember when I used to ride a motorbike and I would have so much fresh air, just the air going in my face, and you would sleep like that at the end of the night. Skiing is another thing. If any of you have ever been skiing, you sleep so well because you're in the mountains, there's plenty of negative ions, you're not on your phone all of the time, you've got fresh air, physical activity, you're trying something new, you're stretching your comfort zone, and oh my God, the sleep is just phenomenal. We want to create that kind of activity for us. Obviously, we can't go skiing every day, but we can certainly walk, we can certainly go out into nature, we can climb a hill, and we can get off of our technology. So, tip number 5, get a bedtime routine. So your mind and body absolutely loves routine. It goes, oh, okay, I recognize these little things that you're doing. You want me to sleep. It's sleepy time coming up. So I'm going to start giving you the sleep hormone, melatonin. So I start preparing for sleep quite early on. So after I've finished work, I'll have my dinner around about 6:30, and I either get some fresh air to clear my head, I either socialise, or I will do my favourite thing of all, and I will literally just stare at a wall for about 30 minutes or an hour. And I do this with some lovely music on that I like, that's got no vocals, cinematic music. And basically what this does is, so I let my thoughts drift from one thought to the next. It's really rather lovely, and I'm not controlling my thinking, I'm just letting my thoughts go. What that does is, so I'm kind of processing the day, and what that does is it allows your subconscious mind to catch up with itself. So the conscious mind all day is planning, focusing, working, it's busy, and this creates stress. And it's the subconscious mind that actually deals with that stress. So you need to create time for the bridge between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, all that information from the conscious mind to just trickle into the subconscious mind. And you do that by just allowing your thoughts to process. And just by spending half an hour each night, just, let your mouth drop and feel into those thoughts, let those thoughts bounce around. It's highly therapeutic. So once I've done those bits, I will then really get myself ready for bed. I like to have a hot shower or a warm shower, not too hot because that can set off the palpitations. So a nice warm shower, makeup off, teeth done, pyjamas on, bedside light on, pillows plumped, bit of sleep spray with some essential oils, whip the covers back, and then, because I'm still quite awake, I'll go and sit in the front room with my partner, have a bit of partner time, and I will watch some telly. Now, this might not be for everybody, I'm just giving you my routine. What I would do is I'm very, very careful about the telly that I watch at this point. If I'm watching adrenaline-fueled TV, it's a no-no. So we put on comedy, light-hearted comedy, and we put the volume on low, and eventually that lovely, beautiful, heavy feeling comes upon you. You've done your work, you've eaten early, you've processed everything, you're totally ready for sleep, you're in this lovely, wonderful state of calm and relaxation, and then when the time is right, when you decide, when your body tells you, everything off, slide into bed, you are already tired, you are prepped, you are primed for sleep, and then it's about letting go. So, step number 6, when you are in your bed, forget sleep mantras. I don't even do sleep meditations anymore, sleep recordings. The only thing I will have on maybe is white noise, so hairdryer sound or rain sound, not thunderstorm because that's too intermittent. You want something drony, something constant, and I just put that on the Alexa in my bedroom. I don't have my phone in my bedroom. That's an absolute no-no. So what I do once I'm really, really tired, I've slid into bed, I will focus on my body. And it's not a hard focus, it's a very, very soft, light focus. And before I know it, I'm actually asleep. So it's a body scan. It's the same thing that I told you about earlier on in, I can't remember the step number, where you literally focus on your muscles being like strands of loose spaghetti. Because when we're stressed, when we've got adrenaline and cortisol going around the body, our muscles tighten so much. We don't want that. We want to unwind them, we want to loosen them, and we can do that through the power of our focus. So it's a very gentle focus. You can start with your head, you can relax your eyes, your lips, your throat, your tongue, going all the way down to your body. And before you know it, you will be asleep because you are focusing on letting go. There's no thinking, there's no controlling. You're letting your thoughts bounce around. They can do whatever they want to do. You are not trying to control your thoughts. You are literally just floating. So, step number 7. If all of that fails and you don't sleep, please, please, please do not worry about the fact that you haven't slept. You will sleep. There will be nights in the future where you will sleep, but worrying about will I sleep tonight creates obsessive compulsive disorder. And that is the last thing you want. I know, I have had it. And it's an absolute nightmare. When your whole life revolves around sleep, when you can't think about anything else, when you're worried if you're going to sleep tonight, it just becomes so rigid. Your body and mind can cope without sleep, okay? How do you think military training works? Sleep deprivation. Those people can adapt. Your body can adapt. And in fact, because of the quite a lot of lack of sleep that I've had, I'm now very adapted to surviving without much sleep. I can have 5 or 6 hours sleep and function brilliantly the next day. Some nights I get 8 hours, some nights I get 9 hours, which is wonderful. But please don't scaremonger yourself into thinking that lack of sleep is dangerous, okay? Yes, lack of sleep feels horrid. Yes, lack of sleep makes you feel emotional, irritable. It makes you feel like you can't cope. But the truth is you can cope. And if you say to yourself, I can cope, you relax around the idea of sleeping because it actually doesn't matter whether you get sleep or not, okay? And your mind is a meaning-making machine, right? So what you can do is attach a different meaning to not sleeping. You can go, okay, I was a bit wired last night, I didn't sleep as much as I wanted to, but that's okay. I've got my strategy, I've got my protocol, I can just relax. And the more you weave meditation and relaxation and body scanning and letting go into your daily life, the more your mind and body, remember it's body, goes, oh yeah, I recognize that. Because remember, sleep is absolutely innately part of us. You can't stop it, like beating your heart. It will do it. If no matter how hard you try to stop beating your heart, it's not going to stop. Same with sleep. Sleep will come to you if you just put these things into place and allow it to come to you. So, yes, I want to talk about connection. Those are my 7 tips, but here's a little bonus tip for you. One of the reasons why lack of sleep is a growing epidemic, I think, is because of apps and phones. And obviously, we need to turn our tech off at some points. Obviously, we can't, the genie is out of the bottle and it ain't going back in, so phones are here to stay, but we can manage it. So get off technology and go out into the real world. When you hang out with friends, when you join clubs, when you connect with other people, it actually makes you feel safer on the inside because it makes you feel like people have got your back, okay? So when we feel safe in the body and mind, we can let go of hypervigilance. And it's that hypervigilance which causes us not to sleep because our nervous system thinks we have to be on high alert just in case there's any kind of tigers around. But of course, you know, we know it's not like that in this day and age, but there's still a part of our primal brain which believes there is. So connecting with others, asking your friends, you know, sending a text, are you about? Do you want to hang out? Shall we arrange something? So I've got some little tips now for you, because I want this video to be really comprehensive. I know how sleep can be, it can really, really upset you if you're not getting it. So earplugs. Soft silicone earplugs, get some, pop them in. I know they're a bit weird at first, but they will stop any kind of noise waking you up, especially if you are a light sleeper. Sleep hygiene. Clear the clutter out of your bedroom. It's amazing how clutter and stuff can energetically make the energy in the room very sticky, and that can affect your body's energy field as well. Like I said, if you want to know more about energy, check out Anadea Judith. Clean sheets, obviously. Take some time to clean your sheets, hoover your carpet in your bedroom. You want to feel nice. You want to feel like relaxed and kind of complete when you go into your room at the end of the night. So declutter, no technology in the bedroom, maybe an Alexa, which is what I've got for my white noise. Some sleep sprays, which are great. You can just pop them on your sheets and on your pillow. Lavender oil is great. Can't remember the other one, but it begins with V. You might want to check that out. Yeah, and get a break from the monotony. So when it's like Groundhog Day every day, that doesn't help us sleep. You want to get a break from the monotony because it discharges boredom and it discharges isolation as well. And all of those things create fear, worry, anxiety in the head. We don't want that for good sleep. So try to take responsibility for your sleep patterns, okay? Please don't think that you are a victim in all of this, because that victim mentality will keep you stuck. It will keep you latching onto medication. It will keep you thinking that there's something wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. You just have to follow these protocols and then sleep will come to you. So it's about taking 100% responsibility for yourself. Okay, that's it. That is my sleep video done and dusted for you. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've got something out of it. Thank you for watching, Helen. Good to see you, my lovely. And if you've tried some of these things, but they haven't worked for you, if you're still struggling with sleep and you feel there's a deeper reason why sleep is eluding you, then please contact me. So I do a 2-hour treatment called Rapid Transformational Therapy. It's phenomenal. You get a sleep training hypnosis for you to do every single day, which is different to the actual going to sleep hypnosis. And what I love about RTT is the fact that it clears all the subconscious programming, the stuff that you learned as a child that is perhaps holding you back today. So if you fancy a little bit of RTT or you want to speak to me and let me know what issues you've got going on, then do drop me a direct message. I'll be happy to answer you. So that's all from me today. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.